Hi y'all, good morning. I just had my big 6 a.m. walk with the dog. My husband is gone for work all week, so I am taking care of everything here. And it is so humid, almost 80 degrees, and my glasses are fogging up. So yeah, it's really warm and humid out. Finally, it feels like summer. So today it is Raw Food June day 5, and I'm going to talk all about staples on a raw food diet that you can keep stocked in your kitchen. And I'm going to show you everything that I'm eating today. Hey guys, it's quite a bit later than I would usually have breakfast, but it's finally time to make my green smoothie. So I'm going to show you that and then get back to work. All right, finally making my breakfast. Just going to add water and blend this up. All right, everyone, here is my lunch. It's pretty late, but I'm having some chia pudding that I made in advance the day before, and I put tons of strawberries and a whole box of fresh blueberries on top, and it looks so good. I'm gonna enjoy. Hey everyone. Oh my goodness, that lunch was so good. That lunch was a really good segue into the Raw Food June topic for today, which is all about raw food staples. So whatever diet you came from before, whether you were on a standard American diet or a whole foods plant-based diet, a vegetarian diet, I'm sure you had your staples or things you always had around, whether it was rice and beans and salsa or pasta and tomato sauce. And I want to share with you what some raw staples are. And two of those, actually three of those, is how I was able to have that meal so quick and easy, even though I'm super busy today. So you can make your life easier, streamline your meal planning, which we talked about on the last video. So I'll make sure to link that above. And I will show you some of them that are in my pantry and freezer and fridge right now. And I'm also gonna create a raw food staples playlist on this channel. So if you ever wanna see some of the things I've created that I consider staples, like my cashew milk, I will go ahead and put them in there. So it's ready if you wanna go check that out, and I will keep adding to it as I make more recipes. Okay, let's go look at some staples. Staples are foods that you're going to eat every day and that are often a base for other recipes. So as you might suspect, bananas are kind of number one on my list. I like to have smoothies every day, have them for snacks. I use them as bases for my oatmeal and for nice cream. So my husband and I built this cute rack out of wine boxes, and this is where we store our bananas. Another big one is dates. I use this as a sweetener, a thickener, and in a bunch of recipes, from my date balls to smoothies, and they're delicious for snacks. So these two, I would say, are ones that I always have around, and I like to keep my dates in this nice mason jar. The next one I want to talk about is berries. I eat berries every single day. They're full of antioxidants, they're flavorful, and they're just so good for you. And so right now what I have is some strawberries and blueberries. They immediately fogged up because it's so warm in our house. And of course, I always have frozen berries as well. So here you go. Here's inside my freezer. It's a little loud, but my favorites are to have some dark sweet cherries and of course some wild blueberries, always in the freezer just in case, and for smoothies. One of my big problems in the beginning, before I went back to raw food, is I've still been trying to be zero waste for a few years, but I was pretty strict before going raw about not buying things in plastic, especially fruits and vegetables, and not buying frozen fruit because it came in single-use plastic. But this is pretty much the biggest exception I've had to make, because it's just so important to include berries every day. And it's not, I can still try to be as low waste as possible and pick the ones that are recyclable. But of course, it's also about creating health and the fact that we don't live in an economy that is circular and takes back the waste. So you can't be too hard on yourself. Anyway, that's a little aside. So far we have berries, bananas, and dates. The other staple that I always have is lots of fresh greens. These are some pretty baby kale, and I always have lettuce for salads. That way I have greens for smoothies and soups, lettuce for lots of salads, salad wraps, everything, lettuce wraps that you can do with them. So this is another staple that I buy every single time I go to the grocery store, and I always have greens in my garden. And when it's not in season, of course, also in my fridge. And I really like baby kale right now. There you go. So in addition to having bananas and dates and berries, you can add whatever other kind of fruits you like, but those are my base, they're my staples. And of course, greens and lettuce are a staple, and celery. I juice celery every day. I love it for snacks. It's just delicious, and so this is another staple for me. And while greens and lettuce and celery might be my staples, you can add on what other veggies you like and what other veggies are in recipes that you find. The next category here I keep in my freezer drawer, and that is seeds and nuts. So here I have my chia seeds. So because I had this, I was able to make smoothies this morning and my chia seed pudding. And I have flaxseed I love to put in smoothies as well and use to make crackers and wraps. I have some sesame seeds for tahini. I have some hemp seeds, which I love. These are almost gone because I love to make dressing with hemp seeds. And then I have cashews for cashew milk. So because I had made cashew milk and I had chia seeds, and berries as my staples, I was able to make that quick lunch, even though I've been having a pretty hard day work-wise. So I always keep these in this little door of my freezer. Chia seeds don't need to be frozen, but like flax seeds and hemp seeds and stuff and cashews can go rancid. So I just like to keep them in the freezer. And that way you also don't over snack on them, which I find helpful. And the reason I have so much is I buy them in bulk in these jars or in a produce bag. And then I fill these up, and they last me a ridiculously long time, and I save a ton of money. So there you go. Welcome to my little bitty pantry. I don't really think it's meant to be a pantry because it is so small. I don't know if you guys can tell how narrow it is, but on the right side, I have cooked food that I make for other people. Sometimes we have family members that visit and they like to drink coffee, and I make some beans and lentils and homemade pizza crust for my husband sometime. And then of course they have my vases and jars. I make kimchi in that. So I keep these in here just because it fits. But these are 4 pantry staples I wanted to tell you guys about. So the first one is just some organic, 100% pure maple syrup. I don't use maple syrup a lot, but quite a few times it gives you a better consistency than dates. So I will use this sometimes. It's not 100% raw ingredient, but it is low glycemic, and I find that it's very digestible, and I would choose this because it's more economical and eco-friendly than something like agave. So the only sweeteners that I use are natural fruits, dates, and maple syrup. The other one here is coconut aminos. I love coconut aminos. They're a great replacement for soy sauce or tamari. Tamari is just wheat-free soy sauce, but this is just from coconut sap and it is raw. They do add a little bit of salt to it, so if you don't do salt, you might want to skip this, but this for me is a game changer. It makes raw food super delicious. Okay, and hiding in the back here are my dulse. So I have whole leaf dulse, and I also have dulse flakes, and I love all kinds of seaweed. Dulse is probably my favorite because it adds a salty flavor, it adds extra minerals, iodine. It's just delicious, and I try to include a little seaweed every day in my salads especially, or in my soups. I actually have this old spice shaker, which I couldn't fully get the label off of, but it works so well for dulse flakes, and I can just sprinkle them onto dishes, and I really like that, and my husband loves it as well. So there you go. That's my little corner of my raw food pantry. Last but not least section is to always have a good supply of spices. So I have some organic vanilla, I've got garlic, I've got chipotle, chili flakes, chili powder, pizza seasoning, onion, peppers, paprika, turmeric, curries, pumpkin pie spice. These are really going to be a great way for you to add variety, flavor, and create some of your favorite tastes on a raw food diet. So don't skimp on the spices, and if you're coming from a background of not really cooking, start experimenting with a blend first, like this pizza seasoning, which is already set up for you. So yeah, you don't have to have this many. I probably have a few more than I need, but I am pretty streamlined in other areas, so I let myself have a nice big spice rack. So I hope you found that helpful to kind of have some things around that are your bases and your staples for all the other dishes that you make. So from the stuff that I always have on hand, I can always make a quick cashew milk for people's coffee or tea, or for a chia pudding. I will always have bases that I can quickly make a salad dressing with, and greens for salad. So I can always eat something. I always have smoothie or nice cream ingredients. So I can make lots of stuff from bananas. So even though there's a lot of other things we might buy, other fruits and vegetables and stuff for fun, that is the way that I for sure know I can make what I need. And those are my staples. So of course, other things that I create from this are like my raw vegan hummus, my cashew milk. I make salsa and tomato sauce. So I will put all of those normal staple recipes that maybe you're trying to figure out how to turn them into raw recipes in my staples playlist for you guys. And let me know if you found this helpful. Are there some that you always get that I missed? Leave a comment below and let me know what other things you want me to recreate and put in that staples playlist. Hey guys, it's dinner time. I finally finished work and I just made the quickest dinner. As I mentioned, my husband's out of town all week. By the time you're watching this, he'll be back. But that means I just want to keep it simple. So I made my hummus and some veggies to dip, and then I'm going over to my friend's house and I'm gonna help her declutter tonight. She wants some help decluttering her stuff before a big move. So yeah, it's been a really hectic day, but thank you for sticking with me, and I'll show you my dinner. All right, here is my dinner. I'm having my creamy raw vegan hummus, and I'm going to dip some peppers in there and some carrots, and I put paprika on top, and then I'm off to my friend's house. Thanks for hanging with me today, guys. Bye.